Jeff's Donuts or what's the gas station? Dough Daddies. Get some Dough Daddies too.
Dough Daddies too.
Get some both. Spaldings, dog.
Spaldings. Okay, there you go.
What is Jeff's? Never heard of Jeff's.
Wait a minute. I think
Frank's.
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 Oh, Frank's.
Welcome everyone to episode 253 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you are going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Kenny, Anthony, and Steven. Good days.
Hola.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hola.
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 I pronounced the H.
Hey. Roll and roll and roll. We can't play now.
It's very wide of
There
you.
you go. Kenny's going to actually start doing that now. He's going to start testing my hip hop knowledge because
you got called out in the group text.
Yeah, Jason Hale was very upset with the fact that I didn't know Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Posse on Broadway.
Posse on Broadway. Do you know that song, Steven?
I would have to hear it.
Yeah, I did. I have only heard it maybe once, and I freely admitted that was a little bit before my time. Jason and Kenny are slightly older than we are, only slightly, but they were both
that in the car stereos.
Not happy with me.
Man.
Yeah, not happy with me. They were like,
on that
Jason,
episode,
Jason threatened to take my hip hop
Taco Bell
card.
was closed.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't get it.
I didn't get it. I did not pick up on it, so that was my bad.
Me and Kid Sensation, home away from home. And the black Benz limo with the cellular phone.
No, I know N2D back to the hotel.
Oh, it's not too much different era. A little bit. A few years.
I was going to say the early 90s is usually where I pick it up at. Before that was like Fat Boys and Ice-T and some other things like that.
Fat Boys.
Yeah, Fat Boys. You remember Fat Boys?
I do.
Oh, they're all dead, I think. Oh, gosh. Not that we get on a depressing note.
Diabetes.
Yeah, I think they're all gone. If any of them are still around, my apologies and didn't mean any offense there, but I think they're all gone. Yeah, but anyway.
Well, last week, Kenny had a big week.
He did. He had the week of all weeks, and one that you and I participated in at the start of it in the house for the birthday, the OG. But then he went
off on his own.
Yeah, he went rogue.
Celebrated my whole birthday, or my birthday for the whole week.
The whole week, and anything that you're going to hear now, Steven and I are hearing it for the first time as well, other than the text messages and seeing what he posted on social media and stuff like that.
And I didn't post all of it.
You did not. I'm sure.
Mosik sent me a bunch of pictures that I will post probably today or tomorrow.
Nice. He's a world-class photographer.
When he goes in deep.
All right, there you go.
Whether it was coffee, whiskey, now it's photography.
Yeah.
Dude, he's great at darts. Whatever he does, he goes all in. But
he made me one of the best damn lattes at his house one time.
Dude, it is.
I can't remember why I stopped there in the morning one time, whatever it was for, but he's like, "You're having a coffee?" And I was like, "Nope." And he made it to perfection. It was delicious.
I'm about to have one.
Yeah, there you go. Just stop over and get...
We'll bring some Jeff's Donuts.
Perfect.
And we'll get some lattes.
Jeff's Donuts or what's the gas station? Dough Daddies. Get some Dough Daddies too.
Dough Daddies too.
Get
some
both.
Spaldings, dog.
Spaldings. Okay, there you go.
What is Jeff's? Never heard of Jeff's.
Wait a minute. I think
Frank's.
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 Oh, Frank's.
Wait, I think it was Jeff's.
Frank's is good. I've heard it right. Frank's is good. Never heard of Jeff's.
Oh, this is great. I can't wait to see it. Steven, if you got the name of the donut shop you like wrong, it's going to be amazing.
Frank's is good. I've never heard of Jeff's.
Oh, boom.
That's Jeff's?
Where is it at?
It is on it's on South Broadway.
Okay.
South
I knew
Broadway.
It. All right. Okay.
Where is that? Jeff's.
Eat it.
Marvin. Never heard of Jeff's though.
Well, now you have.
Frank's is in Georgetown, I think.
Yeah, Frank's in Georgetown.
They're good.
But
they have a place in here now.
They have a place here now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Frank's is
Get with the times.
No, Georgetown.
Hey, I'm a Spaldings guy, bro.
Jeff's car wash, is that correlated with Jeff's Donuts?
It's on the back.
It's on the back side. We're doing that. Sorry, that was a little detour there on Lexington. But yes, I think adding to the chicken fingers list, we're going to have to have a donut episode as well.
We'll have to have Jeff and Frank's.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Jeez
but Kenny, your birthday, sir.
Yeah, so Wednesday was my actual birthday.
Happy birthday
To you.
So
Dynamite drop in there, Kenny.
Alves and I and Scotty from J-Hub, Scotty Too Hottie.
Yeah, Scotty Too Hottie, yeah.
Went to
Eddie Money.
Old Louisville.
Yep.
And we picked a 10-day bourbon pick for Justin's House of Bourbon.
Oh,
So I met the 10-day guy.
Okay.
He was cool. He's actually nice. We're probably have him on the podcast, and he actually was pretty cool though.
Okay.
So we did a pick with them, and that was kind of neat. It was Bardstown Bourbon Company, 8.5, 9-year-old.
Okay.
It was some of their original distillate. And
Was it silky?
well, it was good. It was, I don't know, 123-ish, 124-ish proof. But when I had that, I'm like, holy crap. A couple of days prior to that, you and I got the opportunity to get a River Roots of the same 8.5, 9-year original Bardstown distillate. So that was kind of neat that, some of that original juice is coming out. I wonder why it's going to other places, though. Maybe it just doesn't fit their current profile or whatever. I don't know.
It might be it, or maybe they just have so much of it that maybe they're just selling some of it up in the market. It's really good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we are entering a new era there. I'm not going to go on a tirade here, but there's going to be a lot of whiskey available to a lot of people.
Tons.
In
tons.
the next 5 years.
Yes. So,
I'm waiting.
yeah. Not to jump ahead, but I'm going to fast forward to that night.
Okay.
You're talking about available.
Right.
I was with Jason Calori at Wild Turkey, and we revisit the Wild Turkey thing. But he has his own brand coming out. So he's also going to be sourcing some stuff. There's going to be a lot. Like, we talk about whiskey, the boom's dead, the this and that's dead, it's over, it's in decline. Man, I think you're going to see so many new pop-ups because barrels have gotten so cheap, and you're going, compared to a couple years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're also going to see a lot, I think you're going to see a lot of people entering the market because you're going to get some heritage distillery, not just everybody sourcing MGP. You're going to get some heritage distillery brands that are going to have barrels available, and they're not just going to be like new make and 2 years and 5 years old, I bet, man.
Yeah.
So, but back to Wednesday. So,
Wednesday.
that was at Old Louisville. So after we picked that, we told him, we're like, hey, man, is there we're thinking about maybe doing a birthday barrel.
Okay.
So
We'll call it Old Kenny.
Old Kenny. It's a good label. Get the TTB out.
Kenny is old now, I'll tell you that. Speaking of that, dude,
I like that.
I was feeling it that day.
Yeah.
Because Tuesday night I went and played basketball. We played 3 full court games.
Oh, don't make excuses.
Wednesday
Don't make excuses.
I was feeling it Wednesday.
Right.
So we ended up trying a bunch of different stuff. And one of the favorite things, well, actually it was the favorite, I had an 8.5-year-old rye.
It's a good year.
That had been finished for 2 years in toasted Hungarian oak.
Ooh.
Oh, hung, huh?
Toasted Hungarian.
And that was so far the winner. So that was probably the 6th thing we tried. And that was the winner so far. And then we went and tried 4 or 5 more things. Even tried like an 18-year American whiskey.
Okay.
19-year American whiskey or something. And it was good. It just wasn't as good as that one that Alves and I picked, with the Hurano one.
Right.
And then we go back to that. I'm like, we tried 3 or 4 more. And we go back to that rye. And I'm like, man, I think this is the one. So we try it, and it's like, boom, it's there. Well, then Amin says, well, hang on a second. I see him thieving from another barrel.
Oh, no.
And he see him blending some stuff together. And he's like, try this. And I'm like, And it was actually really good.
Okay.
Better / different, mainly.
Okay.
Mainly different.
Well, that's good.
But it had more to it.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't just as one
Dimensional?
I don't say one dimensional. Wasn't as 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. It was 5-dimensional, 4-dimensional.
Okay. A lot of roller coasters.
Yeah. Ended up what he had out. He pulled it's a wheater, 8 years old.
There you go.
Wheated bourbon though. The mash bill is 51 corn, 45 wheat, and 4 malted barley.
That's it. It's a high wheat.
And he poured like a 50-50 mixture.
Okay.
And I still like the rye by itself better. I thought, I like it better. So what I did but I really liked how that added some extra, like we talked about, some single barrels they're great, but it's like the best stuff on the market typically is a blend.
Yeah.
Right.
You're adding stuff, you're taking stuff away, you're getting a more complete flavor ride, all that. So I went and poured it 50-50 like he did. And then what I thought would taste the best was doing 1 part of that wheated bourbon with 2 parts of the rye.
Okay.
So I let him sit for a little bit, and then I blinded Alves, and then Alves blinded me with it. And so what we ended up with, what we're doing for my birthday bottle, is not really a birthday barrel, it's a birthday bottle. It's going to be 2 parts of that rye with 1 part of that wheated bourbon.
Oh,
wow.
And that rye, I'm sorry.
No.
Is a 51% rye.
Okay.
45% corn, 4 barley.
So it's It's a low rye.
But most of the means is 51 rye and like 49 malted barley.
Yep.
Most of his old Louisville batches are that.
Gotcha.
So this is different. This is 51 rye, 45 corn, 4 malted barley. You'll have 2 parts of that, and that's 8.5 years old. Then you'll have 1 part of that 8-year wheater that is 51 corn, 45 wheat. What's like when you get the wheaters from Buffalo Trace and Makers, were they like 20% wheat?
We don't really know Buffalo Trace, but
that's right.
Makers, yeah.
About 20. So this is 45 wheat. This is going to be a banger, man. So, I'm not just saying that because, you know, I'm picky, you know that. Like, it took us so much stuff. I kept passing on everything because I'm just picky.
Now, wait a second. Is this the first time you blend it and it's going to be a bottle?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
No. Take it back. My very first blend was the Penelope for Railbird with Justin's House of Bourbon.
Okay.
That was my blend that they picked.
Okay.
So this one now, is it going to be available? Can we purchase this?
That's why I'm bringing it up on this pod right now.
Oh.
So.
Well, hey, surprise audience.
It will not be an official, quote unquote, mashup pick.
Right.
On Old Louisville, they let you name them. So it's going to be under like KM 50th.
Oh,
okay.
So like my other one was like M2 OLP for my second Louisville pick. This will be KM 50th, and this will be available on Bourbon Outfitter.
Okay.
So any of our regular listeners, we already DM a bunch. I mean, you all are great. We message all the time. Definitely hit me up, and we'll make sure that you get a pre-order code. I'm not really sure how many bottles are going to be available. But we also will do the same thing. We're so close to having the website up and going. Once we get the website up and going, then we'll be able to capture emails a lot better.
Right.
But we do have the email list
from
the last time.
Which is expansive.
What we'll probably do is if you emailed in wanting the River Roots pick, there's no reason to message us again. I'm sorry, not email. Well, but if you messaged us with your email address for the River Roots pick, there's no reason to message us again. We're going to use that same email list and just shoot you an email when that pick is available on Bourbon Outfitter.
I like it.
But if you are one of my, I'm not trying to pick favorites, but if you're one of the people that we literally message once every 3 or 4 days with a ton of listeners, for those people, man, definitely hit me up like we always do, and I'll make sure that you definitely get one of those. It's going to be freaking special.
You know who you are, and Steve and I just found out about this tonight. Literally live on the air here. We just found out about it. So,
and I'll make sure that the listeners get some before you all do. I mean, I'm sorry.
Thanks. First, you go and blend without us. Now you're going to give it to the listeners before you give it to us. So, this was actually just part 1 of Kenny's extravaganza on that day, and I do have to tell our listeners he planted the seed earlier about, I played basketball, I was really tired, all this other stuff. I'm not buying it for not a single minute. There is a picture out there. I want you to go find it somewhere where Kenny is asleep in the front seat of someone's car. I'm not going to say who.
I play basketball Tuesday, though.
But this was Wednesday, right?
I'm talking about Wednesday now.
I know, but
I played ball Tuesday, so I was already tight and tired.
I thought, you were setting us up for saying that it wasn't due to the whiskey. It was due to you being tired.
Oh, no.
The baby was tired.
I usually don't say this. I was drunk.
Well, you should have been.
Usually I'm full satch, half satch, 3/4 satch. Okay. I'm tipsy.
But hey, it was your birthday.
Wednesday was.
You had a reliable person.
Yes, Alves was driving.
So it's all good.
He did not partake as much as I did.
So then you guys went off you got your nap in, then you went off to the Wild Turkey dinner.
And the Wild Turkey event, I did invite somebody at this table too.
Yes, you did.
But he was too busy at home playing with his action figures.
No, I was not. Well, so here's what happened. I get this last minute invite from Kenny, and I said, I would love to come, but I have golf with my son, and I thought it's going to be canceled. But I couldn't bank on that. And sure enough, like at about 1:00 on Wednesday, golf is canceled. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, fine. So I'm like, hey, did you find anybody to go yet? He's like, yep, already found somebody.
Scotty too hotty.
Scotty, Eddie Money, yeah.
So Wednesday evening was an after-hours event at Wild Turkey.
After hours. That sounds mysterious.
It does.
It was to commemorate the American release of the new 8-year. So we had that media day we went to for the 8-year.
Right.
This was open to the general public to buy tickets to. So when you got there, Jimmy and his wife were there, and Bruce was there.
Oh, nice.
And then they were walking around with like hors d'oeuvres and, appetizers and all that. Bo was there. Hang out for a while.
Yeah.
In the distillery.
Was Eddie there chatting it up? Like I heard he really likes to talk to everybody.
Eddie was not there. Bruce makes it pretty. Bruce, love hearing Bruce talk. Bruce makes it pretty clear. Usually, if Jimmy is there, Eddie's not there, and then vice versa. They're oil and water, evidently.
There you go.
And they both like completely different whiskeys and everything. Funny. It's funny. It's really funny.
Yeah, but go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No. It's perfect. So we get on so we're there. Then we get on a bus. We go do a tour. Really good tour, behind the scenes tour, all that stuff. It was great. And then you come back and we all get in the room. We get to try regular 101, 8-year 101, and then they had a wild turkey pick. They have the wild turkey barrel selections now. They have taken place of the Kentucky Spirits. So you get to try I'll try all three of those next to each other.
Like a big fight?
And guess who did not drink any of it?
Who?
Me.
Why not?
I was hungover from early that day. I had the worst headache, man. It was so bad.
The man had a hangover and couldn't partake. Bad. So in the best part of the dinner, you're like, I can't partake.
I did not sip anything other than water.
Oh, dang. Wow.
So if I was there, I could have drank your whiskey and mine. Double. Yeah.
That's right, baby. But it was cool. Bruce up there talking. I could listen to Bruce talk all the time, man. He's funny, but he's just open. He's honest. He's real. Yeah. And just obviously hearing stuff about Eddie and Jimmy is just always really cool. I mean, they're legit icons in that industry, man.
Oh, no doubt.
So that was great. And I'm trying to think of anything else at night. Yes, I talked to Jason Calori for a little bit.
Cool.
And he remembered you from a barrel pick you all did or something. What was that?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this on a podcast. It was the time when the bourbon hunters came down for their bourbon bonanza thing. I think that's what they call it.
That's right. As a member sales.
Bash, not bourbon bonanza bash, whatever it's called. I can't remember. They did picks and they invited me to Pursuit. And so I met him there, and then I also hung out with him in the evening with the rest of the guys, of course, as well. And so he's a cool guy. Like, I mean, he's one of the top guys on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair conservative to say that. I mean, even if he doesn't say it, we're saying it.
Yeah.
And he's very down to earth. We mixed it up. He told me about his picks, about his process with his stickers and stuff. I was fascinated by that. It was just a good chat with him. And then, of course, he's a Paisan. I'm a Greek guy. Of course, it tends to be like a good way to, make conversation, right?
Mm-hmm. He asked if your zipper was still broken.
What's that?
He asked if your zipper was still broken. He said you walked around all the time with your actual zipper down.
Oh, really?
The whole night.
Did he really say that?
No.
I was like, what?
No.
You always could get me on stuff like you. Kenny has this serious demeanor, and you're like, wait a minute, his eyes and his whole face look convincing, and he's really just joking. So thanks a lot for that. But so he was there, and then
and I met 2 listeners there.
Oh, really?
It was really cool. I was standing there with the worst headache in the world. I'm over at 6:30. In the evening,
thinking, when is this thing going to end?
And this one gentleman and his wife come up, and he's like, "Hey, you're with Kenny with the mashup. You're listening. I'm a listener." I'm like, "Oh man, yeah." He was from Indiana. They're from Indiana.
Cool.
And then another gentleman and his buddy were there. They were from Springfield, Illinois.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
So they both separately, independently came up and was like, "Hey, we're big. We love it. We're big listeners. Love what you guys do. Blah 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 blah." And I was just, once again, man.
Kenny was like, freeze and rest his head on pillow made of concrete.
Is that what he's like?
He was passed out on the floor.
It was just so humbling, man. It's funny.
No, I'm just kidding. Awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, we just try to hang out, try to have fun, just talk about bourbons and whiskeys and try to do newer releases. It costs us some extra money to do that, but try to do newer releases just to help out listeners as well. So, I mean, we have fun in general. It's the only reason why we do it is because it's fun.
Right.
But also just, you don't want everybody out there trying to throw away money like we do because we're dumb on bourbon and whiskeys.
Speak for yourself.
Now, the guy and his wife from Indiana, they did have something to say to Stephen.
Oh, really? Oh, this is going to be big here.
I don't know if I should be scared or
I don't
excited.
know either.
They said ever since Stephen's fast, he's been on fire. So the fast did him really good.
How about that?
They did.
That's real listeners there. See, they're keeping up with life there and what's going on. So
now another listener's have to listen for you.
Oh, right.
Hang on. That same listener.
Yes.
That same listener. When I told him I went into Old Louisville and did the barrel picks, he's like, "Did you have your sourdough that morning?" I'm like, yes, I did.
Jeez.
So again, to go back to what my wife brilliantly said,
Yeah, that was a great
our
line.
listeners are
Yeah.
just friends that we have not met yet.
Right.
Like legitimately.
That's awesome.
Like,
That's a
legit,
t-shirt
legit.
right there.
Yeah, it is a T-shirt.
I mean,
Should
that's
be.
serious. I mean, it's true. It's
Yeah.
so freaking true.
Dude, when she said that and you told it on the podcast, like, I mean, I've thought a lot about it since then, and it's such it's a very simple way of saying a very powerful thing. Yep.
And people have said it in reviews too.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I think I think a lot of people, it's hit a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then now we get on to the very last little birthday shindiggy thing.
I was gonna say, do you want to save any of this, or you just want to keep talking about it?
What are you going to say?
I'm going to guess.
He's going.
I'm going to throw it out
He's
there.
going, man. He's going. Okay,
All
here
right.
we go.
So Thursday, I went to OBC Kitchen.
Oh, man.
So day after my birthday,
Oh, gosh.
This is the black tie affair.
OBC Kitchen.
Yeah.
It's about $1,200 a person. Don't get me wrong, it's expensive.
You make fun of me for going on vacation. Look at you.
That's at least 1.5 parkas.
That's true. Well, it's about half a parka and a pair of shoes.
Not half a parka.
Definitely shoes.
I could get a couple parkas for that $1,200.
But listen to this stuff. So if you're a true whiskey nerd, you will appreciate this. If you're a novice listener, you're going to be like, Kenny, you are the dumbest person in the world to spend $1,200 on an evening. And, I didn't tell Shane how much it cost. Oh, crap. I'm being in trouble now.
There you go.
All right. We had an Eagle Rare store pick, which was great.
Wow.
It's starting out strong for $1,200. You
Was that
really
pocket pour you brought?
How dare you?
We had champagne.
Oh, wow.
No, but so Eagle Rare store pick. Then we had Eagle Rare 17.
Oh,
okay.
Getting
Nice
better.
little
Getting
tech.
better now.
Then we had Double Eagle Very Rare.
Oh, old Beaver.
And then here's a crazy one. Eagle Rare 25.
Whoa.
Only
Whoa.
200 bottles in the
I
whole
was going to say
world.
that's not even produced at a rate
Only
where
200
there should be.
bottles in the whole world.
So how much did you get of that? Like, was it an ounce at least, or was it like a half ounce or
At least a half an ounce.
Okay,
At least a
all
half.
right.
It might have been 3/4.
All right.
Wow.
And that we thought was, I was going for the whiskey. When I post these pictures, I didn't post them all. It's going to sound weird to say this. The food stole the show.
Really?
It was crazy. So the whiskey was great. The food though. We started out with a flame-kissed A5 Wagyu
No.
on a 1,000,000-layer potato stack.
Damn.
Wow.
Scallop ceviche with cara orange, some kind of orange.
Nice.
Use a foam and caviar on it.
Wow. Caviar, man.
They had a
Ooh.
Caesar salad, but the difference was the chef. There was like 5 different chefs came to each one of the tables.
And they made it at the table?
Fresh. They made the dressing fresh with the anchovies, with all that. Made everything like literally right there. Put
That's
the pepper
nice.
in, mixed
Damn.
it, put the oil in, everything. And then here's what was my favorite thing of the night. Probably
Lobster tail.
they had duck fat crusted sea bass.
Ooh.
So they took the sea bass skin off and instead put duck fat on it.
Wow.
And crusted it all
Damn.
together. But that was with a broiled Alaskan king crab leg, brown butter, hanshi something, and morel mushrooms.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So as wild as their head chef, Matt, morels were evidently really in low supply this year because of the way the weather was and too much rain and it was too cold and all that. So literally, he made this menu a couple months ago, and he got down to the nitty gritty. He had no morels. Literally last weekend, just 4 days before the dinner, he went up to Estill County to one of his buddies' places and he hunted and found morels himself for this dinner. They tasted great. I never ate a mushroom in my life until then. It was freaking awesome.
Okay.
Oh, you never eat mushrooms on anything? You're one of those
No,
anti-mushroom.
dude. Why would I eat a mushroom?
Come on, fungi.
Everyone talks about, well, like you don't really taste it. Well, cool. Then I don't need to taste it. Why have it on there if I can't taste it?
You can taste it.
Fungi.
But this one tasted great.
There you go.
Let's see. And then we had, it's going to sound weird, but it was good. Compressed heirloom watermelon, Carpaccio, whatever.
Carpaccio.
Mm-hmm.
Olive oil, an IPA, beer vinegar, and mint. That was it's like an interlude between the two, and it tasted pretty freaking good. It was like a sweet and a tart both. And the main course was a beef Wellington, 8-ounce filet, dark cherry demi-glaze, wild mushrooms, black currant, something, puff pastry, blah, 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 blah.
You know, I've never had a Wellington. I've always wanted to try it.
Really?
Yeah.
This was great.
Oh, wow.
And then the last thing.
I don't know. Well, I've gone places and it hasn't been like the special.
Well,
but if
for
it ever is, I'm
$1,200, you can try.
I know, right?
If you ever go, Alva's taken me a few times down to the Grand Dam.
Okay.
at Manchester,
I've heard
at
of
the
that.
hotel.
The hotel.
Legitimately, probably the best restaurant in town.
And they have it on the menu?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now,
Grand
one time we
Jean-Claude
went, they
Van
had
Damme.
regular beef Wellington. The other time they had venison beef Wellington or venison Wellington. It was pretty
Wow.
wild.
I can't eat deer anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
You
I'm
got,
off the
you got
deer.
Lyme disease?
No, I've just heard there could be some things lurking in deer that you shouldn't have now. But we'll come back to that in another episode. Not right now.
A wild caught deer. Yeah, they have something lurking, but these 7,000 cows in 1,500 square foot of space don't have something. Come on, Anthony. Come on, man.
Just saying, man. There's been some, published reports of people withering away after eating on
my
deer that
gosh.
wasn't processed right. So,
Like a tapeworm?
worse than that, like something
I
like
could use a tapeworm personally.
eat your brain. Yeah,
A brain worm?
I must already have that.
But anyway, damn it!
You definitely got a hair worm.
There you go.
Hey.
But no, so
And then the
this
last
is
thing was dessert, though.
Oh, yeah. What is
dessert.
that?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Boulevardier. Does that make sense?
We'll
Keep
say
going.
it does. Yeah, go ahead.
Boulevardier pâtisserie something. But it was
French. It's very
a
French.
Campari honey mousse, plum cake, orange panna cotta,
Panna cotta.
Paracotta.
Shisho,
The Italian
Paris
pronunciation.
something, brown sugar meringue, blah, 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 blah. Off the charts, stupid, amazing. So between the whiskey and the bourbon, that was incredible.
Right.
But then top it all off, the boy, Freddie Johnson was there.
Oh, Freddie.
Oh, Freddie.
Yep.
So Freddie was there. We talked all night long. Just a lot of good pictures. Good, just hanging out.
Right.
He's a good dude, man. He's all about that, quote unquote, making memories.
Right.
Just making memories.
Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I saw your posting and stuff, I was a little bit jealous.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you're not really jealous when your buddy is getting to do all these wonderful things for his birthday. So
Yeah.
I kind of looked at it like, we'll hear about it on the podcast. I didn't know we'd hear so much about it.
I know, right?
I mean, come on, dude.
Wait, Kenny, you skipped over
Jeez,
the
Ken,
biggest thing.
I mean, oh, you did? What did you miss?
Which of the Eagle Rares did you like the most?
Yeah.
The Eagle Rare 25 was legitimately awesome.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying it's worth the $10,000 retail and the $16,000 to $18,000 secondary, but it was great. So it truly tasted dusty, and it was a different profile than the other ones.
Okay.
So the Double Eagle, very rare, a little more just subtle and just vanillas and blah blah blah, just good. Eagle Rare 17, similar, totally different profile here. And of course, I can't go somewhere without pocket pours. So I did bring I either brought the 1980 or 1982 Eagle Rare, the 10-year 101.
Old Prentice
That
stuff.
was the old Prentice. So I did bring a little pocket pour that I shared everywhere. So people like that
Yeah.
Well, fun.
as well.
There you go. Well, I don't remember what I did on Wednesday, but I can assure you it wasn't
even close.
Close to that. Yeah, it wasn't even.
And then just, be remiss to not talk about.
Oh, wait a minute. Please go ahead. He's going to chime back in. His
not talk
birthday never
about-
ends.
I got to, at my table was Mossick,
Oh, okay.
Ron McGuffin,
Oh, nice.
and then Bucky floated in and out, the table as well. Jaden,
Right.
one of the managers, floated in and out.
Cool.
But so, Freddie talked about making memories and this and that. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just great day Wednesday. Well, great day the previous Saturday at the party, great day Wednesday,
Right.
great day Thursday, hanging out with good people, good whiskey, good food. It was a great time.
It's definitely a big week. From the
Big week,
started on Saturday and it went,
Right,
like you
all
said,
the
all
way
week.
Love it.
It's fun stuff.
Good stuff.
Well, do we have any more reviews this week?
Yeah, we actually have a really great review. It's one that I've been waiting a while to read because we saw this on Spotify, actually. So people have figured out, just as a reminder, if you want to leave us a review on Spotify, you can just make a comment on an episode, and you could do it just like this person did. So 22 days ago, for the second time in 4 months, we had a review from Sous Vide. So Sous Vide said 5 stars, continues to be one of the best food podcasts out there for
This doesn't help. This doesn't help that at all, did it?
one of the best food podcasts out there for us here.
Oh my gosh.
Enjoyed the discussion on local chicken tender sauces. He said Chick-fil-A's secret is a pickle juice marinade, by the way.
Yes, we know that.
Yeah. He said, I'll have to side with Steven on this one and wonder why Kenny is leaving his tenders out for 15 minutes.
He said pickle juice. You know what I say?
There you go. He said he wonders why Kenny's leaving his tenders out 15 minutes. So he said,
I forgot to talk about that.
hold on. Hold on. Let me get through this review first. He said,
We can't get away from this, can we?
Oh, it's coming to video soon.
He said, food hack unlocked with the BYOC cheese tip. So bring your own cheese, like we've
Always
done.
do, yeah.
Also would like more mashup family guests as we frequently enjoy Shannon. And at one point, Anthony had his kids on for a soda review, I think. Good whiskey talk, too. So, do we know who Sous Vide is yet?
I don't yet. I don't, but that's awesome.
Yeah, we know who you are. We love this reviews, and that's so funny you said about my kids and the soda review.
That's old.
Because that's really old.
That's
was
like
when
2
I was
years ago.
Trying to figure out how to edit, and I had my kids on for they literally were talking about lemonade and Pepsi and stuff, but I did a traditional bourbon review. So awesome, thank you, Sous Vide. We're having such an impact in the food category. And you just talked about a bunch of food, Kenny, so it makes perfect
That's
sense.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
So,
Anyway,
yeah.
regarding chicken.
Okay. Oh God, here we go.
If you get it to go or you go through drive-through, it's typically a 10 to 12 minute at least drive before you get home.
Right.
And that's
That's
where
true.
Cane's sucks. They have no flavor once they're 10 to 12 minutes later, and it's not fresh.
He had to explain why he's leaving those chicken fingers
So
out.
that's
for
why
15
the
minutes.
only reason why I said 10 to 15 minutes is because I'm assuming that you're getting it to go.
Well, what did I do the one day when I got Cane's and sent you guys a picture of it? I pulled right over there in the parking lot and ate them suckers.
You have to, because if you don't, it's horrible.
Or just go in.
There you go. Just
No,
go and sit down. Exactly.
No, we did. We have a camera now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not taking it out of the box yet,
That's good.
but we'll be doing some videos, and one of the first videos will be the chicken blinds.
There you go. That'd be awesome.
I've already thought about it. I'm going to go get the different chicken from different places, and we will reheat it in my...
I was going to say, how are we going to do this?
reheat it in my Wolf steam oven, so that way it'll be just equally... It'll be fair to everybody. It'll be reheated really crisp. The thing reheats amazingly.
Okay.
So we'll do that, but it's going to be coming soon.
All
Coming
right.
soon. In the next probably 2 months. What?
Sounds good. We're excited.
Yep. And if you like a review, just leave us a review on Apple Podcast, Amazon, or Spotify. Next time we record, we'll give you a review.
Also, subscribe, smash that button on YouTube.
Please, we really, really, really need the YouTube subscribers.
There you go.
They're doing great so far, but we can always use more.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So go ahead and stop right now and go over there at the Mashup KY on YouTube and go ahead and subscribe.
Perfect.
And then come back.
Come back to the show.
Yeah.
We'll still be talking about OBC dinners.
And chicken.
Chicken.
Our goal is to get 3 million subscribers
Right.
by the year 2080. So we are.
That's
We're just on our way at this point.
something to look forward to, huh?
Well, guys, for this week, we have 2 bottles that I've never even heard of.
I haven't either.
Kenny, have you heard of them?
Yes, but not. I've never tasted one.
All right.
Well, I've not tasted these. I've
Right.
tasted a different offering.
You got to procure them, if you will.
We did.
Yeah.
One bottle is, or they're both from the Larrikin Bourbon Company. One is a single barrel, it is a high wheat rye whiskey,
Oh, yeah.
and the other one is a cognac cast.
Ooh. Okay. So, yes. So, the first one, the Larrikin High Wheat Rye Whiskey, the single barrel, is bottle date is 2024. The ABV on this is 60.2. The proof is 120.4. Age is 8 years, and the mash bill is a very interesting 65% rye, 35% wheat. The MSRP on this, when you do that, obviously it always gets me, is $110. The second bottle is the cognac finished Larrikin. So this is rye whiskey finished in a cognac cask. The bottle date is 2024 or 25. It's ongoing. The ABV is 61.2. Proof is 122.4. The age on this is 10 years. Hence why it's called a decade. It's called Decade 100% Rye Whiskey. The mash bill is 100% rye, and the MSRP on this is $100.
On the dollar, no holla.
Oh, there you go.
Inflation, dude.
Inflation.
Tariffs.
So, but
Oh, so it's going to be like 124?
Instead of $5 no holla, it's $100 no holla.
$100 no holla. So both these bottles are from the Larrikin Bourbon Company, And I am going to turn it over to Kenny because I've never heard of Larrikin
Well,
bourbon
Larrikin
before.
Is an Australian English term meaning a mischievous young person, an uncultivated, rowdy but good-hearted person.
I was going to say, I thought you were talking about my son there for a second.
Or a person who acts with apparent disregard for social or political conventions.
Oh, that's definitely me.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that goes perfect with the little logo on the bottle.
Is that a kangaroo?
It's a kangaroo with boxing gloves.
Hey, there you go. You ever seen those videos of when the kangaroo's like beating up a person? I can never tell if that's real or not. Is that real?
They're real, dude.
They're real?
And they're all black and white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I've color ones, and you've got you got that one dude. Like the most famous one probably is the guy that his dog was in a headlock. The kangaroo's going to kill him. He comes up and just freaking punches the kangaroo. The kangaroo lets go of the dog and look at him like, what just happened here? Right.
Then they square up and they start hitting.
They do. They're strong. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now, have any of you ever heard of Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company?
I think for a brief moment I heard of Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company, maybe because you told me and maybe because they may have been giving out samples somewhere. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like I vaguely remember that name.
So Larrikin is Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So they were founded in 2022 as Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
Rebrand alert.
In Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. The owner is a guy named Greg Keeley. The name change happened late 2024. So we'll talk about it in a second. But this was on Fred Minnick's top 100 whiskeys of last year.
Oh, really?
It scored like 94th out of 100.
Really?
But it was on there, and
made the list.
even Fred Minnick listed it as Lawrenceburg, and then he put in parentheses name change later.
Oh, okay.
So it was sometime in mid to late 2024 they changed the name to Larrikin. But Greg is an Australian guy that has actually served in both the Australian Navy and the United States Navy.
Dang.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Double veteran.
And if you look at the bottles and their website, it's all over it. Veteran owned, and it also says veteran distilled.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's where I've got some issues, but we will talk about that shortly.
Okay.
But
Kenny, remember, be nice.
I know.
Breathe
I'm
deep.
working
Breathe
on
deep.
it.
Yeah.
Try.
That's it. It's over.
No. But their website shows they have about 8 different products. They have a bourbon cream for $30.
Oh, I'll have to try
and
that.
7 other bourbons and whiskeys from $50 to $110.
Okay.
Now they do show a gin and a vodka, but they don't have any prices on their website. So I guess they theoretically have 10 products.
Okay.
But only 8 of them have prices available to buy.
Assume they have a headquarter and home in Lawrenceburg. Do we know?
Just down from Wild Turkey.
They're just down from Wild Turkey. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
So if you leave Wild Turkey and you take a right and you go out that way, like you're going towards like the downtown area, they're on the right hand side of the road.
Okay.
Nice. The other thing that I'm wondering, I'm going to start nosing these. Are you guys going to start getting into them or what?
Yeah, the colors are noticeably different.
It noses nice. The wheat rye noses very nicely.
And that wheated rye noses really well.
It does.
That was $110.
Yeah, the prices are a little bit like right off the bat. I'm like, man, for like a company I never heard of, $100 plus, like, but got to give it a chance, man. I can't just say that based on what it is.
It's got a nice candy note, I think, immediately. It goes away, but it's there right in the beginning.
It's got to be that high wheat, right? Because wheaters can be sweet, right? So now you've got that rye with a high wheat, man. That's pretty interesting.
I'm still struggling with my nose a little bit because of my allergies. It's not gotten any better. I got to clear the whole month of May before I'm fully good. My allergies are going to be gone.
A whole month, Kenny.
Starts mid-April and doesn't end until May, man. End of May.
I'm surprised you was on vacation that whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be out of the bluegrass.
Did you come from ski slopes or something today?
Yeah, I actually got windburned in that because I was out. Where was I traveling to? I'm just kidding. I wasn't traveling.
Yale
again.
or Vail, I think.
Yeah, Yale. That's
and
right.
then to Vail.
Yeah. No. The funniest thing is I can't remember one of our listeners. I think it was Nick said he's coming into town and gave the dates he's coming into town. He's going to be in Frankfurt. And I said, I think I'll be available on 2 of the 3 of those days. One day I'm out of town the whole day. And he said, why am I not surprised?
Exactly.
Oh,
burn.
I'm like, well, I guess I deserved that. Yeah.
I went and picked a bottle up at your house a month ago.
Right.
From Muncie.
Right.
And that's after y'all had been in Texas visiting the in-laws.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And we talked about something. I said, I was in L.A. She's like, oh, were you really?
Oh, here we go.
No.
I'm like, yeah, Lexington area. She's like, and she laughed. She said that was the funniest thing.
Then you can also tell she's not listening.
Exactly. No, that's what I told her. No, I did say, I'm like, if you listen, she's like, look, I've told Anthony, she's like, I'm just not into whiskey at all whatsoever.
No.
And she's like, it's like if I made him listen to one of my whatever she said. And he's like, he wouldn't. I'm like, all right, I got you.
I never hold it against her. So
yeah. I like the nose on this.
I actually really do too.
Jack Daniel's rye.
Right.
In blinds, I get it wrong, and I consider myself a decent blinder. If I'm double blinded with Jack Daniel's rye, a lot of times I think it's a bourbon. I don't think it's a rye, even though it's 65%, right? So this is 65, or there's a 60-something%. This is 6-7%. I mean, it can have more of that bourbony characteristics potentially as the actual percent of rye.
Yep.
So if you take that and combine it with the wheat, man, I mean that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and wheated rye is not like a normal thing, right?
I've never heard of one until this.
Right.
Have you ever heard of that?
No, not really.
And if any of the listeners have, please message us because I've never heard of a wheated rye besides this.
I know some people joke and say Van Winkle is, but it's not because of the wheat. I've heard people do that. Be like, how do they get them Van Winkle wheated rye? And people are like, they don't.
We don't come across many 2-grain bottles on the pod, do we?
No, right? There's no malted barley. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And don't you need the malted barley usually for some of the fermentation and stuff like that?
That's what 95.5 ryes. When we get them, that's what they are, right?
Yeah. Other than New Riff. Like with New Riff, I always thought 95.5 was the 5% malted barley, but it's actually 5% malted rye. So it's 100% rye. And there's probably a couple others. But in general, all of our 95.5 MGPs, 95 rye, 5% malted barley. The nose on the right is a lot sharper.
Yeah, I picked up a little bit of peppery characteristic on the right, which is weird because it's cognac finish, so it should be sweeter. But whatever is going on with the mash bill, that one's different. It's like, yeah.
And both these are about the same proof, so I was surprised how much sharper the nose was on the right one.
Right.
Especially being cognac finished, because a lot of times that gets a little sweeter to me.
Yeah. I'm getting like a really faint caramel out of the cognac. I know it's a basic flavor, but I feel like it's a little different than normal. Maybe it's just mixed with the cognac.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, these are both interesting, and here's the thing, right? When we taste stuff that we know has familiar mash bills and stuff like that, it's almost easier to taste. It's harder to taste something or knows something like this because it's not familiar to any of us.
Brand new.
So not to us.
That's right, baby. I'm glad you've converted over now.
I have. It's taken me a while, but I'll definitely get there when I say us. You normally.
It is as us, man.
Yeah, no, I'm ready to taste too. Are you ready to start tasting there, Steven?
Let's go for our first taste.
Ceremonial taste. Here we are.
I love the nose on the left one, so I got to go for that one first.
Yeah, I love the nose on the left, and then more. You called out a candy note, Steven. Like I just got my nose really in there, and I nosed it one more time before I'm sipping here, and it's definitely sweet.
Wow, the taste
is good too.
I'm gonna lie, I like that, man. That's good.
Wow, eye opening there. So it's definitely warming, right?
Yeah.
So holy mackerel, that's a finish. There's quite a finish on that.
Yeah, it hits warm. Doesn't come right away.
Right.
And then it hits, and then it just it lingers.
Boom.
You could
like
tell me this was the one finished in cognac or something. I mean, it has something extra little layer to it.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to have to go for a second sip of that because the first sip I got okay. Slightly,
I do taste the 120 proof.
Yeah, 120 proof for sure.
It's there.
But slightly grainy, but not in a bad way, in a way that you're tasting the components of the whiskey, both the wheat and the rye, but the first sip is sweet, and then it opens up to this spice that just takes over the palate.
It does.
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way, though.
It's you get the sweet, and then it feels like the spice comes in.
Wow.
And it's not subtle.
Right.
But I feel like there's an underlining ground up tobacco along the spice.
Yeah, it almost does have a little bit tobacco-y, or some kind of spice leaves.
Maybe it's spice leaves.
I'm trying to.
There's an earthy element.
Earthy, yeah.
Right.
I think about how some spices are ground up and you can nose them, and then other things are whole leaves that you cook with.
Bay leaf.
Yeah, like bay leaf and things like that. But it doesn't smell like bay leaf, obviously.
No,
I'm just saying
it's a cooking show, so I just want to.
Yeah, it's a food show,
yeah.
so we're trying, but. Being I don't work with these spices too much. It's got a lot going on. This one is definitely about the spice though.
Yeah.
Not your traditional you're not going to mistake this for bourbon at all. You're gonna be parsing out the different rye spices that you get. So peppercorns, things like that. Yeah, all that's there.
And while we're nosing and tasting all that stuff, their website, they do show a lot of the accolades from spirits competitions, gold here, silver there, double this, double that.
Right.
And like I said, I did say earlier, the decade was finished 94th out of Fred Minnick's top 100.
Okay.
Now, a local bourbon friend and podcast listener named Jacob
Okay.
Gave me these bottles.
Nice.
So
Shout out, Jacob.
Shout out.
Big shout out to him.
And one thing that the reason, Anthony, you probably heard about this,
Okay.
or at least heard about Lawrenceburg, was I did go to Lawrenceburg or go to the liquor barn after work one day, and a representative of this company was there pouring out samples.
Okay.
So that's when I told you, and I even got a card for contact information about, you know, they said they'd like to come on the podcast and all that, and that was a year and a half ago, I guess. It's been a while. Might have been 2 years, year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Year and a half. But that's where you heard about it before. In this next part, I'm going to tread lightly on. I'm going to try to be as nice and politically correct as possible.
Oh, here we go.
But the person I was talking to when I was there told me it was their own distillate.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
They distilled it.
Uh-oh.
They pushed the veteran owned and veteran distilled. And I just took them at their word and cool, drank it, tasted okay. I was telling another buddy about it about a week later. He's like, he's like, that's not their own stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Uh-oh.
So I should have, while I was standing there, taken the bottle out of his hand because he was pouring samples and looked on the back of the bottle. Well, so this Larrikin, this decade rye, in front of it says veteran owned, veteran distilled.
Yep.
And they even told me it was their own juice. This is actually distilled in Alberta, Canada.
Oh, that's what's that called?
Canadian rye.
Alberta, Canada is probably
It's Canadian rye.
Yeah, it's Canadian rye, but it's also, isn't there that company Alberta Rye?
Alberta makes
Alberta Rye. Yeah.
But it's hand bottled by Larrikin in Lawrenceburg. This high wheat rye whiskey is distilled in Florida. No idea who's distilling in Florida, but hand bottled by Larrikin.
Interesting.
So their website and all over these bottles, veteran owned, veteran distilled. It's veteran owned, but it ain't crap veteran distilled that I'm guessing. I could be totally wrong. If I am, number one, I will apologize, and number two, this is facts optional.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so that's my only issue with this, and it's kind of a big issue because I like honesty about stuff. I do like that these are age stated.
Right.
I do like that they say where it comes from, but I do not like the misrepresentation that they presented.
Maybe the guy that was walking around was just like half in the bag and was like, "Oh, well, yeah, we make all this stuff." I'm just kidding.
Well, that could have
Now
been
I've
the
gone
case.
to slander. Now we've gone to slander. I'm just
But
kidding.
the second part is on the front of this. I don't think the Canadian distiller up there is necessarily veteran owned, veteran distilled, and then you got a place in Florida. I don't know. I find it hard to believe.
So you got to be a little bit lenient. It's just marketing kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Got to just be understanding of that.
And that's what we talked about before, especially as things get tighter and there's more bourbon available. Who do you want to support? So, I mean, it's.
Yeah, I definitely have to say, though, Larrikin and the whole Australian motif, I find a lot better than maybe just like, hey, we're Lawrenceburg distillers and we're veteran owned. So if that's what their angle was before, I definitely think they're doing better with their marketing, but you can't go too far with it, right?
Right. And I doubt there's too many people that have served in the Australian Navy and the U.S. Navy both. That's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So what are your thoughts? Have you guys sipped the
cognac?
The cognac
I'm going
one?
for I'm going to try it right now.
All right.
While you guys are doing that, though, I just want to say that I've almost finished my Weeded Rye, and I mean, it honestly is a very, very weird, in a good way, amalgamation of both the wheat characteristics and rye.
Yeah.
So, like in the front palate, that's what it is. I'm getting like the soft subtleties of rye, a little bit of bready notes, a little bit of honey, and then it just dissipates into this crazy spice. And I like it. I actually do like it a lot.
Just had the rye finished in cognac.
Yeah.
If I had not known ahead of time it was Canadian, I would have still thought it was probably like I'm not saying I would have guessed it was Canadian, but like, oh, it's familiar. What is it? But it definitely has that little Canadian vibe, and it's a little bit more earthy. I get some earthiness on it, some dirt on it.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you.
Even though it's 10 years old, it's like way lighter shades than this 8-year other one because it's up there in the cold.
What's the proof on this again?
I was just going to look for that.
120.
122.
Wow. Okay. So you know what this reminds me of? Like, in not the best way. So the company I was looking for, and it could be wrong, was Alberta Premium.
Yeah.
Alberta Premium Cask Rye is actually pretty good.
Yes.
I've opened and drank one of those. I think did we review that?
I don't think so.
I don't think we reviewed it, but I know that I had it during the time we were starting the podcast and it was good. This, I'm kind of confused because with the cognac cask, I thought that would add more. Instead, I am getting a little more earthiness and weird like citrus notes and earth.
I like the Alberta Premium Cask.
Yeah.
And mine that I had was like 120 proof.
Right.
I like that better than this.
Me too.
It's almost like a spicy citrus, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You know what it is? So I've mentioned this before. I don't even know what my wife does. During the fall, she makes a spice pot thing that's supposed to be like an air freshener where she puts like orange.
Yeah, you talk about it.
Orange and like cinnamon sticks and all that stuff.
Right.
And she just lets it boil on the stove. And it actually is nice. It's like a natural like air freshener kind of thing. It's after you're cooking like, things like today I cooked a steak, Indian food, all that kind of stuff, right? So it kind of freshens up. That's what this reminds me of. And it is like an intensely spicy, like orangey flavor, which...
Syrupy orange.
I like orange, but I don't know if I like it like presented like this.
Yeah.
So it's almost like taking the characteristics of the rye and elevating them, but the finish is a little bit earthy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that earthy dirt.
Me too. If it just stayed in the citrus realm and finished like that, I think I'd be like more excited about it. But as it stands, this is 100 or 110. One of them's 110, one's 100. It's interesting. Very intense orange note though.
Yeah.
Like super intense, like almost like I've never been turned off by an orange note, but I might be for the first time tonight being turned off by an orange note.
I'm not trying to jump ahead to past try by it all, but I'm going to talk.
Yes, you are. You savage.
I'm not, but
How dare you?
for these to be the same basic price, that doesn't make sense to me. Like one is clearly way better. So if like one of these were 110 and one of these were like 65, that would make more sense.
I got you. Well,
should we go ahead and...
Are you ready to render a verdict?
So, Anthony, would you pass, try, or buy on the Larrikin bottles?
All right. Do you want me to lead us off here?
Sure.
I haven't done that in a while. You guys usually, the one time, Steven, you introduced yourself, and then you just took it right off the top, which I like that. It's fun. But I'm actually going to do a quick sip of each real quick to remind myself of what I'm going to say.
That's why you don't go first.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go.
All right, go, Steven.
All right, for the single barrel, I am going to be a buy on it. I did like it. I like how it kind of, with the two grainer that it is.
That's not a single barrel. Oh, it is
Single barrel.
Single barrel.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I like how we had the sweet, and then you had that kind of explosion of spice and pepper, which I'm not normally a fan, but I kind of really liked it this time around.
That's a good contrast.
Yeah. And then, so I'm going to be buying that one.
Okay.
For this cast finish one, I'm just going to be a pass.
Okay.
I didn't like the syrupy, like, orange note in it, and I didn't really enjoy drinking it as much as the first one.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Or buy and pass.
Buy and pass. I like that.
Anthony, are you ready?
Yeah, Anthony is in a weird spot here, okay? I like characteristics of both whiskeys, and I'll just come out and say this. What I don't like about either of them is the price. $100 is, I know it's become kind of a standard, sorry. I know it's become kind of a standard, but it's also a tough pill to swallow. So I will say that I do like the wheated rye. I'm going to try on that one. If it were $65, I'd probably buy it. And then on the cognac finish, with all due respect to my love for orangey citrus notes and finished product, 110 or 100, whatever it was, is too much for me for what it is. I'm going to pass on it as well. I'm going to join Steven there. So I'm going to try pass.
Well, oh well.
Mr. Kenny, bring us some sense, sir.
Well.
Bring us some sense.
So when I met that gentleman at Liquor Barn a couple years ago,
Very gentle.
he did talk about the high wheat rye whiskey. I don't know if they release all of those as single barrels or if they do batch some or not. But I am actually going to mirror and copy Steven 100%. And I'm going to take it one step further. So a lot of times when we do pass, try, buy, and I say I would be a buy on something,
Right.
that means just I would buy it, but not that I'm going to go buy it. Mm-hmm. Because if you look around the room, I've got plenty of bourbon to drink.
Just a little bit.
But I would be a buy. This one I'm actually going to go buy.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to Jacob and see. Now, these are single barrels, so it's one of those things where you get another single barrel, it might not be quite as good as this.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to message Jacob and see if this barrel 13 in particular is available. Don't get me wrong, the next barrel they have might be better than this one. It's just, I hate buying $100 bourbon if you don't get a chance to taste it first.
Right. That's 8 years old.
Whiskey.
That's 8 years old?
8 years old.
Yeah.
But I am a definite buy on that one. That particular mash bill of rye and wheat is, I like that a lot. I'm a hard pass on the other one.
Yeah.
Number one, that Alberta Premium just blows that away.
It does.
You can get a lot of things to me for $30 to $40 that are a lot better than that one. So I'm kind of shocked they're around the same price.
I think Alberta Premium was like $60 too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not saying this is the same distillate. I'm just saying, yeah.
And just, being honest with you, going into this, knowing my experience with the representative of that company that I talked to.
Yep.
And then seeing how much they plaster the veteran-owned, veteran-distilled stuff, knowing that they're not distilling it themselves, it was a big turnoff to me.
Gotcha.
But I try to be totally objective, and I'm dead serious, man.
Maybe
100% buy on that high wheat rye whiskey. So if you can get that in your market, if you see it and you like, I'm telling you, it's really good.
Yeah. What does it say now? Veteran what?
It's veteran owned, veteran distilled.
Maybe they should change this to veteran owned, veteran bottled.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Just be honest. Be honest about stuff.
Yeah.
That's serious. Because that is a great bottle, and I will actually go buy it. So I'm not just going to be a buy, I'm going to go buy.
Okay. And the one other thing that I want to mention is while we were sitting here, I didn't get a chance to do a lot of research on this brand. When I Googled, I didn't Google Lawrenceburg. I just Googled Larrikin Bourbon, Larrikin finished bourbon, like rye, whatever. Just Googling. There's not a lot out there about it. Like, it's very new. Like,
they're very new.
Chances are this has not hit your market yet, or you may have gotten it from someone. So, like, when we're talking about this here on the podcast, it's chances are you have no idea what we're talking about. And it's like
now on their website, though, I was on there earlier. It looks like they said they ship to a lot of states.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where if you've got 2 or 3 buddies and you want to buy 2 or 3 bottles, I think it's cheaper to get multiple bottles shipped. I'm telling you, this exact high wheat rye whiskey, I don't think y'all be disappointed with it. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, when I said to try, it was really to me down to like $100. Like when I said I want to be less than that, but then again, it's still 8-year-old whiskey, so I can't be like.
But a try still, but a try still makes sense,
right?
Because our 12-year River Roots pick was 120,
right?
And David Jennings' Raconteur Rye is 130.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, would you rather spend $20 and drink ours? Yes.
Right. And by me being a try and you guys both being buys, I think it's a pretty strong consensus that we like the whiskey.
Very good.
I mean, it's good
Very
whiskey.
good.
So,
Yeah.
Boom.
And with that, thanks for listening to this episode. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code The Mashup for a special discount.
Also,
Head on over to our partner, the Woodwork Collective, at woodworkcollective.shop. Enter code MASHUP for a 15% discount.
let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.